come you don't look like those scary before and after pictures on the internet? Well, that's the before and the during, I think, mostly in those pictures. I think I'm the after. Do I have a lot of pictures from the during? I don't have a lot of pictures from the during, but I do have this picture here on your right, on my left. Hi there. I'm Jean-Paul Michael. I am a community case manager, and part of my work is I spend a lot of time educating healthcare workers and speaking to just lots of people about substance use, harm reduction, and crystal meth. And crystal meth because I used to, prior to working in healthcare, I used to use a lot of crystal meth. So so I've compiled a list of questions about that I get in these different sessions that I've done. Some of them funny, some of them not funny, some of them serious, and so hopefully that'll kind of spread some knowledge. Anyway, and this is Minkie, my little friend. This is her first podcast, so she's a little bit nervous. So please bear with us. Anyway, okay. First question: how long and how often did you use meth for? Okay. It's a great question. So I used meth for about 7 years of my life. Yeah, 7 years. How often? So I started using, I think, on the weekends. Yeah, definitely it was on the weekends. And it took me not a very long time to get to where I was using every day. So I would say it took me about maybe 6 weeks. And by 6 weeks, I was using it every day. And then for the remaining 7 years, I used it every day. Yeah, every day. So a lot. Okay, next question. Was meth fun? Meth fun. Yeah, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it was all hell. No, I mean, sure, some of it was fun. Yeah. Some of it was fun. Most of it wasn't fun. The fun was kind of packed into the beginning, maybe. I think like with any substances, that's generally the trajectory. It's, you kind of, you lose some of your inhibitions. If you're an introvert, you become more of an extrovert sometimes. If you're dealing with stuff you don't want to deal with, if you're dealing with, any traumas or, a loss of any sort in your life, then substances sometimes can make that loss go a little bit easier. So there are some benefits to it in the beginning, but like I say, they seem to get outweighed by the negatives pretty quickly. Okay, next question. Have you used needles and don't they hurt? Yes, I have used needles. Yes, they can hurt. So I started off snorting meth. Then I went from snorting it to smoking it. Then I went from smoking it to injecting it. And that's generally the pathway people take if they're going to take that pathway. And once you get to your kind of delivery method of choice, which in my case was needles or IV use, then I stuck with it. And that's what I did every day for that period of time. I think that journey maybe took like 2 months before I was injecting, and then I was injecting every day for the rest of that time. Okay. What do you think? Do you agree? Big yawn? You're not excited by this talk? All right. I don't blame you. Okay. We'll get through it. Okay. Next question. How quickly did it take you to get addicted? That's hard to say. You're asking the person that was in it. I guess, it's depends on your definition of addicted, where you're kind of dependent on it and using every day. If that's your definition, which is not an incorrect definition either. I would say it took me like 6 weeks, but probably less than that. Because it's 6 weeks, I was using every day. So, yeah, that's it. Next question. Is it true you can stay awake for 7 days? Yes, that is true. In my case, the longest I stayed awake was about 4 days. and you get pretty messy by the time you reach that point. You start to not knowing where you are. A lot of psychosis, a lot of things can go wrong in your body after you've been awake for 4 days, and more as each day goes on. It gets worse and worse. Kind of reminds me a bit of a meth joke. And all right, we're gonna lose our friend, or are you gonna sit here? You gonna sit here? What do you think? Is that what's a crystal meth user's favorite holiday? And people say it's Halloween. Why is it Halloween? Because it's only 2 sleeps till Christmas. That's the joke. Anyway, meaning you don't sleep much on meth. Okay, next question. Did you have any health complications? And yes, I did have. We're going to lose our friend here. Okay, go on. Yes, I did have health complications. I had a lot of health complications. Pretty much all the health complications you can imagine, I ended up having. So I lost track of how many times I was in the hospital. In total, I was in the ICU 8 different times. I had something called endocarditis, which is an infection of a heart valve, and I had a major surgery for that. So I was pretty much as sick as somebody could get off of meth without losing their life. So yeah, I had a lot of health complications. Next question. How come you don't look like those scary before and after pictures on the internet? Well, that's the before and the during, I think, mostly in those pictures. I think I'm the after. Do I have a lot of pictures from the during? I don't have a lot of pictures from the during, but I do have this picture here on your right, on my left. That's me. I don't know how scary it is, but it was scary for me at the time. It's that's one of my mug shots. So anyway, so yeah, I think everybody's impacted differently by meth, and just because somebody looks scary doesn't mean they are scary. Doesn't mean their journey isn't been very difficult for them, and it doesn't mean that their health necessarily matches their looks, and vice versa, right? So if somebody looks really scary, they could still be healthy, and vice versa. It's possible to look great and have very poor health. So I guess it goes into that "don't judge a book by its cover" kind of motto there. Okay, next question. Did you ever steal stuff to pay for meth? No, I didn't steal stuff. I was fortunate enough that I didn't need to steal anything. Prior to my substance use, I had a good career in the publishing business, so I was lucky enough to have the resources to pay for my substances. Mind you, that being said, I was homeless for a period of time, so maybe that would tell you something about my priorities, and not in a good way. But anyway, I did not steal anything to do that. Next question. Have you ever been to jail as a result of meth? Well, based on my earlier disclosure of the picture, yeah, I have. I've been to jail 4 times. 4 times. I'm not proud of it, but I said I would answer these questions as transparently as possible. So that's the answer, and that's the truth. Okay, next question. How come you still have all your teeth? Doesn't meth rot your teeth? Well, I have teeth, and I do own them, so they are mine. But it doesn't mean I was born with them. So meth does rot your teeth. It's really bad on your oral hygiene and health and dental prospects. But these are mostly about $80,000 to $90,000 worth of dental implants that are giving me these teeth. So I'm very fortunate to be able to put my life back together again to afford the teeth. But it is a real challenge for people that use meth, for sure. Did I ever buy meth from Walter White? Yeah. No, I didn't. But I was always looking for that blue meth, but could never find it. Love Breaking Bad. Yeah. Great shout out to Breaking Bad and Jesse Pinkman and Walter White. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next question, more serious question, and a great question to sort of finish it up with is, what made you stop? Well, um, what made me stop? Um, well, it's I wanted a life back, and using crystal meth. I mean, uh, I didn't have a life, right? I mean, meth was my life, and I wanted to. Uh, I didn't want to give up on living at that point. Like it's a weird thing. I wasn't really afraid to die at any point of that because I was so sick for so long that I was like, oh, of course this is going to kill me. It wasn't even a consideration. But and when I was in it, I never thought there'd be a day that I didn't use. Never. It wasn't even a consideration that someday I'll get beyond this. But because when you've been in it for that long, that's what you think. You think this is the rest of it, right? This is what your life looks like. You don't even think there's a possibility that somehow you'll get beyond it. But I did, and that's maybe a talk for another video. But anyway, that's my answers, and thanks so much for checking this out, and hopefully we'll see you again. Thanks. Bye.